half a head of reverse balayage. So as you can see, my beautiful girl here, she has overly blonde hair and we need to add some depth back into it. So I'm going to show you guys what we're going to be doing. So we are working with 10-minute color, Ruskin 10, we have 6N 5A, and then we have our Deep Shine Demi Gloss. We're doing 8N and some 8A because girlfriend is warm. So we're just gonna go through, make this a really quick application and show you guys how we're gonna do it, okay? So first we're gonna start by outlining her section with our root color. So we have our root color. We're gonna come in and we are just gonna start applying it to her voûtage. And this is 10-minute color. So this is not gonna have to sit on her head long at all. And we're gonna go through and we're just going to apply her roots first. And then we're gonna go through and we'll add in the lowlights and the depth. So we're just gonna come through and then we're gonna do vertical for adding the roots back in. This is hard because I'm trying to not touch the other side, because the other side I'm gonna be doing for a class tomorrow. So we're coming through vertical sections, just super thin, trying to not get onto the other side. So this 10-minute color, I love it. It's not progressive. It's not gonna go dark on you. Literally, you can leave it on. I would say it might go like a half a level darker on you, but it's nothing crazy. Like some color that is 10 minutes, it literally like will turn black after that 10-minute mark. So this color is not gonna do that to you. So we're just going through applying about 2 inches of her roots through. So reverse balayage is really good for clients that have too much blonde, that want depth added back in, or maybe they just want more lived in, lower maintenance color. This is gonna be the technique that is ideal for them. And this is the easiest part. This is just getting on the roots for them. And I prefer to go in a vertical section because this is going to allow and make sure that we don't get any heavy lines. I feel like when you go through and you apply a root and you do it on a horizontal, it can sometimes come up way too harsh. Like you can get a line through it almost. So this is gonna make sure you don't deal with any of that. So we're just coming through. And we are taking nice and thin sections so that you get good saturation. And for my formula, we did 30 grams of 6N and 10 grams of 5A. This doll head is very warm. She's very brassy. So we are cooling it down. So that's why I added some of the A into it. And then the mix ratio is just an easy 1-to-2 mix ratio, which is awesome because then it cuts down on any of your like product waste essentially. Because when you have a 1-to-1 mix ratio, it's going to take a lot more color for you. Okay. Just coming through. And now as I get up to more of these front sections, so everything that's in front of her ear, I'm gonna try and make sure I don't go as much on the root. We're gonna take about 1 inch because I like to have, I call it a teardrop, where it's higher and then it gets lower. So we always want more brightness around the face. So not dragging this root all the way down is gonna help with that. It's gonna allow more of that highlight to come up around the face versus in the back I'm gonna really build in that depth back there because that's where a lot of the depth will live, especially when we're coloring the hair and you have any sort of like lived in technique, that's where it's gonna sit for you. So we're just coming through. I don't have long before I have to jump on a meeting after this. I just got done teaching a class right before this one. So we're coming through. We're almost up to the front hairline, and these guys I'm really just gonna like tap along. I'm not gonna drag this root down. I want to maintain kind of like a money piece up through her front hairline. Coming right through here. And then trying to keep all the color off the other side. That is a talent as well. She is messy. All right, we're just skimming through. You guys can't really see, huh? Let's put her more in a position for you. There you go. Okay, so we've gotten all of this on. Now we need to go through and we need to add in our depth. So everything in the back nape area, we are gonna completely color dark. So we're gonna clip away all of this. So the back nape area is gonna be all of this that is in the back crown, okay? So we're just gonna real quickly, we're gonna grab and we're gonna take our sections, get our color. I'll probably move my color on the other side of me, but adding it all dark back here is gonna allow for any highlights on top of it to pop because you can't have brightness without darkness. So that is what this is going to help with. So we're gonna skim right underneath that guy, come through. We're gonna push that highlight out of the way, or low light. Apply our color, make sure we're saturating, really using our hands to make sure we are pressing the color into the hair. Coming through, painting all the way down. Then we're gonna merge these guys. Merging, I love because it makes sure that it's like saturated through on the other side. So we're gonna come through, try not to touch the other side, ever so gently. And I love how fast this color will process. Like it will get done in no time. And adding the ash in here, that's gonna help cut any of the warmth. So we got violet and blue ash. The violet is gonna help cancel out any of the yellow. And then the blue is gonna help cancel out any of the orange. And I feel like she's got a whole lot of orange going on in here today. And then once I get all of this stuff covered, then I'm gonna go through and I'm gonna insulate it with some foil just so it can stay away. Not that it needs to be insulated, it just keeps it away from the rest of the head. So we're gonna come through, paint that, and then I like to take all the ends, merge them all together, walk it down the hair. We're gonna twist, twist, twist. Let me wipe my hands. I'm very neat and clean about all my work. So we're gonna come over our little foil dispenser. I love it because it can be hands-free. We're gonna come over and we are just going to wrap and insulate these ends so they don't get on the rest of the hair. So now we're gonna change the position of her. All right, now we gotta work on the right side of her head. We're gonna put her up in a better position. Or do you guys wanna be up close? Let's put you guys up close, okay? All right, so we're gonna work in forward diagonal sections. I'm gonna take a foil first, and we are gonna lay this foil on the other side of the head. Oh gosh, oh gosh. So I'm just taking some conditioner and laying it on the other side. I do not want to get this color on that side. So this is gonna be like my little protector. Okay, so we're gonna come through and we're gonna do forward, diagonal, back. And we're gonna take our section. I'm actually gonna flip some of this over so I don't have to re-clip it every time. It'll just kind of live right there for me until we get there. There we go, that's better. So forward, diagonal, back. And this stuff, we are definitely gonna clip the ends, lifting it all the way up. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we are gonna do a zigzag, okay? So up, down, up, down, up. All of this is gonna stay blonde and all this is gonna go dark. We're gonna grab our clippy clip, we're gonna clip up our blonde, and we're gonna come underneath. We're gonna place our foil underneath so it keeps it nice and clean. We're gonna grab our formula that we've been using at the roots, and we're gonna drag it down. We're gonna get it. Make sure you're using your left hand as like a board underneath to really press into that color. We're gonna come and we're gonna grab another strip, and then I like to fold it like so. And then we're gonna come down with this guy. I'm gonna bring my color tray over. So this is gonna be the highlight. So we're gonna take this guy and we're gonna apply the gloss. So this is Rusk Deep Shine Demi Gloss. It is a 1/2 ounce of 8A. And then we have an ounce of 8N. So once again, I'm adding that ash in there because she is very warm. Warm is not bad, but I am really wanting to cut the warmth out of this guy. That's for sure. So now we're just gonna keep working up this section just like so. So you're gonna do depth and then add in the highlight. Depth and then add in the highlight. So we're gonna apply that right on top. I think I can turn it like that, yes, okay. And we have this section clipped away. We have the others kind of up there. So we're gonna come through and we're gonna zigzag. As I'm sectioning, I'm not doing like a straight line. You guys will see the zigzag. So there's the zigzag. We're gonna take our ends, then we're gonna come through, and at the peaks of each zigzag, we're gonna skim off. And especially make sure we get little pieces around the face. We're gonna clip up. We're gonna come right down on top of the foil that was directly underneath, and we are going to apply our 10-minute color using our arm to really support underneath. And I am saturating this because what happens a lot with blondes is they are super porous. So you think you lay down enough color and then you go again and you're like, wait, there's still blonde areas. And that's because you have to really get in there and saturate all of it highly, like a lot. And I'm gonna hit those roots one more time as well. Then we're gonna come through, rip our foil, apply it on top. Then we're gonna grab our highlight, drop it down. And these are just like the little guys that I grabbed from the peak of the zigzag. This is the easiest way to add highlights and depth is a zigzag sectioning. And then you just scoop off the top of them and it helps. What time is it? 11:51, okay. I have a meeting at 1. I'm trying to make sure I get this all applied on before I have my meeting. Okay, so now we're gonna take the tail of our comb again. Let me make sure I'm going up and more of a zigzag. And we are zigzagging. So I'm wiggling it as we're going through, okay? So we're gonna comb it down and then we're gonna come through, and the peak of each zigzag, I'm just skimming across. And that's how we're gonna have the dimension. And I'm gonna clip that so it doesn't get lost. We're gonna pull all of this down and we're gonna apply directly on top of the foil. You don't need to take another foil and place it underneath. And make sure that we are really saturating all these sections. You guys are gonna crack up with how many mannequins I am having to prep today. I have one in the shampoo bowl. She needs to be washed literally right now. Come through. I love my cutting system because I don't have to like mess with pop-up foils or any sort of foil. So we're pulling that straight down, going in with the gloss, the Deep Shine Demi Gloss from Rusk. Applying my left hand underneath to lift up the foils and let it be like a nice support to it. Come back through. Make sure we get this really good top section up here. Okay, go back through. Bada bing, bada boom. All right, now we're getting to the other hair that I clipped away. And we're gonna make sure we zigzag it. I think I have to do this one separate. So I went through and I didn't do a straight line, you guys. I literally pull her towards you so you can see there's a zigzag that goes through. And this ensures that you always have depth, okay? So we're gonna take our comb and we're taking the tail of our comb and skimming right where the peak is of each of those zigzags. And then we're taking this highlight, putting it up top. We're gonna grab this whole section that's gonna be dark, get our color, really get it saturated. And then taking our left hand, supporting underneath like a board, so you're not like trying to paint on the head itself. This color's gonna be so pretty. It's always scary when you're watching color oxidize and like what is it gonna oxidize into, because you see like the pure tones coming through. I think one of the scariest ones to watch is coppers, because Rusk, our copper, literally turns purple. And if you're wanting copper, that is the last thing you want to see is purple. So we're just coming up here, making sure we feather on all these guys, melt them down. If you're not wanting to put a gloss in between, I highly recommend at least using like a conditioner, because that's gonna help your rinse out. A lot of times when you're adding depth back in, you can get that dark color onto that light color. So that's also why I like to go through with a gloss. It's gonna add shine, it's gonna add tonality, it's gonna be really pretty. So now we're gonna actually take this guy, fold it to fit the head, like so, and we're gonna take this guy underneath here. So it's fitting the full section right here for me. And then we're just gonna keep on doing our zigzag, going up. I feel like I'm pulling another hair. Okay, put that over there. And so this whole section right here, now we need to find the peaks of each zig. There's a peak, there's a peak, there's a peak, and there's a peak. I'm gonna take these highlights and put them off to the side. And then all of this is what we're going to color dark. And I'm using an extra large brush because this is gonna get the job done way faster, holds a bunch more color. It's just gonna make your life way easier. Come through. Using my left hand to really support. And making sure these little ends are nice and saturated. And if that means like going over them with more color, just keep going over with more color, because you don't want to have any of this pop up like the natural color, that brassy color once you rinse it out. You want to make sure everything is nice and painted. All right, now we need to protect it. So we're going to come through. We're going to do some origami, shape around that section. And then we need to do one more lengthwise. Aren't these foils super cute, you guys? I don't drink, but they're really cute. They're like little, are they martini cups and jalapenos? So get that guy down. And then this little guy. I think I'm gonna retouch the root just slightly along here. Okay, so now we're gonna grab our gloss again. Apply the gloss. And it's okay if the gloss goes on top of the permanent color. I mean, don't completely douse it, but it's gonna help with melting it. Okay, we're gonna come through. Really get that nice and saturated. Kind of working and finessing that hair where it needs to be too. Don't just like put the color on and call it a day. You need to really take your time sometime just to make sure you keep it on. Alright, we're gonna put this guy right over on top. Take this next one, corner to corner, fold it over. Okay. And then, I'm trying to think what I want to do. We might have enough room. I always like to leave like a small veil. So we'll see if we have enough. Yes, I do. Okay, so then we're just gonna skim on the peaks of the ziggity zag. Just having to get a little bit of those guys. So this section right here in my hand that I'm pushing over, that will be my last highlight. So we're coming through, really saturate. I still have 2 more mannequins to prep after this and cut. It's insane. I might cut the other one tomorrow because it's so much. It's a busy, busy week in here. Paint, paint, paint. Make sure everything's nice and saturated and where it should be. Go back over. I'm gonna fold her. Get her right where she should be. Get one more foil to go long section. Press it over. So this is the last highlight. We're gonna pull her down, and then we're gonna grab our Deep Shine Demi Gloss. So this is our demi. Applying it just right on top, feathering it right around where that root color is, because we don't want any harsh lines. This is gonna help make sure we avoid that. Come through. And then all of these guys, they're getting colored the other half tomorrow, and then they're all gonna get haircuts. Okay. So that's the last highlight. We're gonna come through, put that guy right on top. And let's put a little guy that can hold that. So then this section that I'm dropping on top, this is what I like to call my halo section, or my veil section. And we are just gonna feather it all the way down. But then I'm not gonna do this solid, okay? So this veil, I take it down to the end, but then these ends, I'm gonna come through and we're gonna take the gloss. And we are gonna start right at the ends, because then we walk up the color, so then you're not creating any sort of like blending issues. And we're just gonna come right on top of here. tippy tips on here. Another round of last bit of saturation. Make sure everything's saturated. Okay, so this is gonna process for just 10 minutes, you guys, and you will see it in a, hopefully like a short or still image. I'll show you like a before and after. So this is reverse balayage and it will be saved on my page. Bye guys. Oh, it won't hang up. Got my gloves on.